I know there's a lot of people who say, "Oh, yeah, you should go out and make a fortune and do this and money," and it's not. It's about being happy in yourself and achieving what you want to achieve in the way you want to achieve it.
Yeah.
And that's taken me decades to learn. So good on you.
100%. And I think it's just like, I could just decide, right, okay, I'm going to use advertising. I'm going to make money from this, or do this and that and the other to get money. But that's not that's not the aim of this. The aim of this is to people that are listening, and it's for them to, think back, and it's like, I'm not the only one that feels depressed, that feels anxious, that has autism, that has bipolar disorder, that has this and that and the other, because this, it could be, when you have a disorder or mental illness, whatever, it can be kind of a solitary world, and you feel like you're the worst person in the world, and you feel so alone sometimes, that I don't want anyone to feel like that, because I felt like that so many times, and it sucks. It really does.
It does. And I think one of the things that I noticed is that a lot of people did reach out, but only after I sort of made it public. Whereas I try and sort of pick up on how people are before they crash, and then I try and reach out to them. And I've done that with a few people, and something I'm actually quite proud of is that people I've never met online will reach out to me via PM and ask for a chat. Obviously, I'm not going to say who these people are,
of course,
but I never try and solve someone's problems, and that's the key to helping people with mental health or substance abuse or anything like that. You can't solve their problem. You can only be there as a friend or just a voice at the end of a phone to say, everything's going to be okay, I'll ring you tomorrow. And just do it. I mean, I'm doing it with someone at the moment, checking in on them.
And it's all you can do. It's, you can't, if we could solve like everyone's problems, then everything would be fine and dandy. But we can't. It's just, we have to be there for people that don't have anyone to be there for them. Even if it's just like you saying, just a message, how you doing? And let them rant for a bit. Or
don't take it personally. And just, it's sort of, I get, from my own experience, and I'm sure you've probably experienced it the same, is you say something like, "Oh, I'm very depressed at the moment, I've got the black dog," and someone will message you and go, "Oh, I know exactly how you feel." And you go, "No, you don't." It's
very not unique. Me.
Yeah, it's very unique to the individual. So a crisis within. I mean, I have to give a big shout out to Dewsbury, to be fair. I do. Hey, Dews, how you doing? Because Dewsbury was chatting on Free Spin Friday about his own mental health struggles and going to the doctor. And if he hadn't sort of encouraged people to go to the doctor, I wouldn't have gone and got help. And I kind of, if being all seriousness, I probably wouldn't be here if that community didn't exist and encourage people to open up about mental health. I mean, I'm very proud to be a part of that community. And Dews is just brilliant, and he will hate this, and I know he'll hate this, but even just like the Lost in Porridge thing that I do gives me something to do. I get excited by creating the world and the Porridge verse, and along with Dean, who's my partner in crime. But if it wasn't Dewsbury putting it on, then the voice wouldn't have got out there.
Yeah, just to obviously, just to clarify for the people that don't really listen to Primordial Radio, is online radio station, rock and metal, and it is there's a great community as well. Dewsbury is one of the radio presenters, and he's a gentleman that actually talks about his mental health on air, and he really helps other people. And I guess it helps me as well, because it's like, well, if he can be as honest as that on air, I can be like that too. So I take
Yeah.
a little bit of inspiration, from him as well, to be as open. But I know he sometimes, talks too much.
Well, we all do that. I'm a
Oh
nightmare
yeah.
for it. I mean, I love talking. It's my favourite pastime.
Yeah.
It's shutting me up that's the problem. And I don't know if you're aware between the sort of dichotomy between self-esteem and self-confidence. So you can have a really high self-confidence, like myself, but then
Yeah.
you can have quite a low self-esteem, and they're generally in fluctuation. So if your self-confidence begins to drop, it's usually because your self-esteem is beginning to rise. It's very rare they're both at bottom. So when you see me being really outrageous, my self-esteem probably isn't that good at that time. But if I'm quieter and thoughtful, my self-esteem is a lot higher. It's a very weird situation. I mean, you yourself, I think we met Sheffield, was it? Oh, that was a messy evening.
That was
A very messy.
interesting.
Yes, yes, I was running around. Was I being porridgey? I don't know. I was probably being loud.
So Long Road to Brewing is when we all meet up.
Yeah, it's a week-long pub crawl.
Yeah, all that listen to the station and are part of what we call the PR fam, so part of the family.
Yes, I suppose I ought to explain this. So I do a small segment, a very tiny little cog on a rock and metal station online called Primordial Radio.
Yeah.
Of which Kat is also a member. And if we talk, so I'm going to talk about two communities. One will be steampunk community, and the other one will be the primordial community.
Yeah.
And they sometimes overlap, but generally not.
Not
so
quite.
At the moment, we're talking about the rock and metal bit. I think. I don't know. Who are we? What's going on?
What's going on? What day is it?
Is that you? Is that you? Yes, that's the other thing. My crazy voices. Yes. It's always been it's been quite bad because we've had a lot of difficulty for the radio play getting female artists, or just artists who happen to be women. I mean, I don't like that term, female artist. You never say male artist here.
No, I guess a female voice.
Yeah, a female voice. Yeah. So I've had to do them, and it's all very Monty Python. So it's all like, "Oh, Mrs. Flotsam, how are you all today?"
Wonder.
Yeah, and the president of a space planet at war is like, "Oh, Mr. Porridge, how are you all today?" And it's the dogs are back. So if you hear constant barking in a minute, that's the problem.
That's okay.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not. Trust me, it's horrible. Yeah, it's like it's like you put them in two Hessian sacks and just let them. I don't drown dogs, by the way, if anyone's thinking. No, just cats. No, I don't do that either. That's no, I love cats. I do. Oh God, this is all going to go downhill, isn't it? Oh, that Porridge chap, he's horrible to animals. No, I'm not. I love animals. I do, especially in pie. No, stop it. Bad Porridge. So anyway, yes. Oh, this is pretty much how my waffly stage show goes. It's just me talking rubbish at people. So yeah.
People like it though, so it's not that rubbish, is it?
No, I was a bit shocked by the radio play, Lost in Porridge. It started off as a bit of a joke, and it's just sort of grown. I call it like the wrong version of the Archers, and it was just a bit of a joke that's sort of taken off and worked. Oh, hello, Squiddles. How are you? Squiddles is my dog, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, hello, Pants. How are you? Yes, and Nancy's the other one. So I have Sid and Nancy. They often do heroin together in back rooms.
Interesting.
Sex Pistols reference? Oh.
Yes, I got that.
Oh, good. I'm glad you did, because I don't do that joke again. So, yeah. Life's good. Where were we? I've lost. Tangent. Gone. Poetical Works, Volume 6.
But that's
hi,
it.
Kat.
That's it. Like, I get quite lost as well. I go off on one about different things, so I know what it's like.
Oh, Yeah, I was chatting the other day about putting barcodes on wasps.
Oh, why
When
is
I
that?
was at college, we used to catch wasps and put barcodes on them.
I don't go
And,
anywhere near it.
and the
I've got
theory was
phobia.
that if anyone found one with a barcode on, they thought it was a government spy drone.
Okay.
That's an odd thing to do.
It is. I
Yeah.
won't go anywhere near him. Ugh.
Oh, no. We had to be very careful because they're a bit feisty, our wasps. But we had a
Yeah.
plan. Yeah. They lived. We used a wash-off paint. But it was just like drawing barcodes on the back of wasps. Why not?
Why
And
not?
that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I don't go on the radio very often.
So that's why you only have like just a slot.
Yeah. I get there's a lot of support actually. There's a lot of support, and a lot of people say, "Oh, get Porridge on, get Porridge's show." But the reality is, I do not know enough, so I cock it up, which might be funny in amateur hour, but I just don't know enough about it. I'm learning, but I don't know enough. It's got to be realistic, haven't you?
It's at first for me, I thought, oh my God, like I've always wanted to do this, but can I do it? You know, I was just like, all right, can I do it? It's a learning process. You know, it really is. And also I think if you were to do like pre-recorded, if you said something ridiculous, you can always just delete it and re-record it. You know?
Say something ridiculous. I think when I did an hour show for the BBC, it took us about 8 hours to record it.
Seriously? I was going to ask you about that. So how did that happen? Was it like a competition or was it something that you applied to do?
No, it was a competition.
Okay.
And I'd been drinking the night before. And I thought, you should go along and do it. So I went along and did it. And I got through that round. I think the first section, you had to go on stage and talk for 2 minutes. Precisely 2 minutes. So I talked about creating a cult. Because, I have a cult as well. They're called the Legion of Squid. It's kind of weird how squid interacts in our lives. And so I talked about that. And then I think I had 5 seconds left. So I said something. And now we're going over to Jackie in Spalding, who's got a cargo cult in a garage. And so I got through that round. And then I had to go in and do like a half-hour interview with one of the presenters and a producer, and you're supposed to have a half-hour slot, but ours extended a bit because they had to stop recording because the producer was on the floor laughing. He couldn't carry on, bless him. Hi, Jono. And so I got through that, and then we had an interview process. I think it was the last 8, and I was very much like, yes, I want to play a monomath on the BBC, and everyone was
That's
like,
a bit ambitious.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was very ambitious. I think that's what scared them a bit. So I got down to the last 3 and had to do a live breakfast show. And I was my normal self. So they were asking questions like, so, why were you here? And I was like, well, to be fair, I came in off the street looking for alcohol. And they were like, no, you can't say things like that. And we did a sort of interview with actually Dean, who helps me write my comedy. And we got him in as the world's leading expert on Van Kleist. And the wind-up went for about 10 minutes until they realised that it was a wind-up. And I don't know if you know this, but you can't mislead your... So we suddenly had to go, oh, by the way, this is a complete wind-up. I'm terribly sorry. So that probably didn't help. But I got to the last 3, and I'm immensely proud of that. And Ella won, me and Katie came second, but then I got offered a chance to do a steampunk show, a pre-recorded steampunk show on the bank holiday Monday, and it was just awesome. I got to play all sorts of tracks. I even got some metal on there.
Were you scripted?
No, I haven't scripted anything in my life. Honestly, my preparation for a stand-up show is written on the back of a stamp. Normally, I just make it up and go off on a tangent and see where they're going. I mean, the last show, the last sort of gig I did, I was going to talk about the way that drugs are dealt on in the savannah in Africa, because meerkats are crack dealers. That's how I. But there was this guy in the front row who looked like Prince Harry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I thought, well, I'll pick on you